Well, hello from the Hashknife. It's it was about 16 below this morning, and got snow a couple of days ago. We took some time and used the tractor, put the plow on it, and took the grapple bucket off so we could plow some snow. And we did, and just got done plowing the neighbor out, and then plowing out the road, getting the yard all taken care of, open up so we can get some movement around here and still do it in a reasonably easy way without getting stuck. And I put the tractor away and ran in to this. Oh yeah, that's a bad thing. Saw oil coming out of that tractor underneath, so we shut her down, and I waited for a little bit of help. Had my youngest son Braden, he's working on some stuff, but I moved this tractor just far enough that you can see it got stopped, and it's just puking hydraulic oil everywhere. Had to stop and maneuver and get through the door. Look how that stuff has just really pushed itself through the door here and on the other side, so we're starting to tear into this big old puddle here, and you can see that oil slick under there. We got a bucket back there to kind of catch what we can, and so Braden is taking apart some of the floor pan, and now he's working on getting the floorboard itself out so we can see if we can reach a hose. It looks like it's buried as deep as you can possibly get it underneath this tractor because we can't even see it. So we're going to access it, see if we can do something that we wouldn't normally do on a day like today or a week like this week. It's supposed to get about 18 to 20, 22 below or so as a forecast, and not warm up much below zero if it does hit zero during the day. So good thing I staged a bunch of hay before this storm hit, so we wouldn't have to use this tractor as much, but it sure would be handy to be able to plow with it. And Braden's going to try to keep the cussing to a minimum, aren't you? Yeah. There you go. Okay. Can't see him much. All right, let's see what it says. Okay, after mucking around in this thing, it's hard to see. We got some lights, but this hose right there in front of us has got a big hole. It's just a pinhole, but it's enough that it sprays hydraulic fluid everywhere, and it's attached to the steering portion of this whole system. So pull it out, and we will see if we can get a new one made and install, get it all back together again. So we come to a place that is called Hose and Rubber in Billings. Bring this hose down, and they're going to rebuild it for us at about a third of the price that John Deere would do if they had the hose. And it sounds like, because it's a specialty fitting that's done by Kubota, and they just contract to them, that you won't be able to get that done at John Deere anyway. They'd have to order it. So this is kind of a handy spot. It's a mom and pop's place, and they will absolutely take care of you. We've been in here not 5 minutes, and he's already got this hose, half of it built, putting on a sheath for us, and going to put the right fitting on at the right length, right in front of us, and it will be done right. These guys are really good. We come here whenever we have an issue like this. It's like the difference between taking your car to a dealer and taking it to somebody who's actually been in the industry a while and are really service oriented and do a fine job, and they want to stay in business. So sometimes these big box stores or the big name brand stores, they don't care whether you show up or not. And these guys want to stay in business, and this is how they do, because when we get in a bind, this is where we come to. So we'll get this hose put back on, and we'll be back in business. Okay, here's the hole in the floor, and we just got done getting back to the shop. Grabbed this hose, fed it through, and from the bottom and the top, got it to go into that coupling right there. And there's 3 hoses here that we had to work around, but we think we've got it in tight, and now it's a matter of starting it up and pressuring it up, checking our leaks, and to see if we're going to be able to get this thing back alive again. All right, wish us luck. Okay, here we go. See if we can get everything to help us out. Gonna start. Indicators. Okay. Slowly turn the wheel. Not see any leaks. Turning that tire. Tire turns easy. Our wheels are in line. Up here. Hey, look, Bray. Good? All right. So we've got no more leak. Now we just gotta fill it up and see how we do. We're gonna take one more check under there. Well, there's the indicator level for the hydraulic oil, and as you can see, there's 2 lines about 1/3 of the way up and 2/3 of the way up the glass, this little sight glass. And we just started adding oil to it. We're going to take it to that top line. It's just below the minimum now, but it was below that bottom line about halfway between it and the very bottom when we pressurized the system and got all the air out and got oil circulating throughout the whole tractor hydraulic system. And so it took quite a bit, and we're pouring a bunch in. We got a 5-gallon bucket of it, brand new hydraulic fluid. So hopefully we'll be able to take that up to the top line without running out. We've had a lot of loss here. You can equate this to your blood in your body. If you don't have any, you don't go anywhere. All right. You'll notice we're pouring from the top of this jug because it's a new jug, and just go a little bit at a time, what you can. And it's not very intuitive. My dad used to call this an old Indian trick, because intuitively you'll pour from the bottom of that. Most spouts are on the bottom, so it runs out, but then all the air is at the top and it glugs out and you get oil everywhere. So if you pour it from the top like this, you will not waste hopefully any of it, because the air cavity from that jug is in the very top, pours out nice and smooth, and you can actually see what you're doing. And take a look here, we're not gaining a lot on it. It's coming up slowly. All right, got her fired up. See any leaks? And it is only, it was 40 below according to the vehicle temperature gauge, which is pretty accurate. So we're going to take this out in the cold now. You got to lift his arms up. There we go. And he's going to come forward. Knock some snow out of the way. We're going to take this off and put the grapple and bucket back on it. Oh yeah, much better. Success to a point. He's going to bring this over here, set it down on a pallet. You can kind of see it in the snow there. Going to set it down, and I'm going to try to unlatch. Maybe that one come unlatched. Sometimes you'll fight these like you can't believe. Oh yeah. So he's got to shut the engine off, and then he's got to exercise these hydraulics, take the pressure away, and then I'm going to unhook them right here, and hopefully you'll be able to see this. Pull that forward. One pop loose, and ooh, the other one popped loose. Okay, now he's going to start it up and then just drop the front end out. And this is a real tricky thing. Gotta drop the nose of this down. Yeah, he's got a little problem with his control here. There we go. Down with it, there we go. There we go, a little more. I think you should be able to just back away from that bad boy. Oh yes. Pull that down, and he's clear. Alright, now we'll have some fun hooking up the grapple. Okay, he's going to pull that back up here, and this is not as easy as you would think. Level ground really helps. Before I put this away, I put a log underneath of it to kind of hold it off of the ground, but he's got to stab these pieces here right underneath those bars. Nice, keep coming. Doing good. All right. And now he'll just pick it up. There we go. And then these pins have to move off to the side. There's one. Come down. And I'll do the other one. And this is where people get hurt around equipment. One person can't see the other one. Those have to come down behind those pins so that bucket doesn't come out. And then we got to put these hydraulics in. And this might be a little bit on the fun side, so we're gonna back this away a bit. And we'll show you the finished product. Alright, so I hooked the hoses up here for these couplers, and I've got it marked with tape so that when it's cold like this, you don't have to worry and wonder if you got it right the first time. Alright, so he's gonna lift up his grapple, see if that worked. We'll see if these hoses hold. Nope, one of them didn't. So we're gonna have to, can you release the pressure? There you go. So one of these popped out. Here you go, you'll hold that. It's just so cold I can't quite get this thing popped in there. Maybe. Okay, we may have to take this back in the shop and let it warm up. All right, we'll try that. So let's just back it in, Bray. This is the kind of stuff I hate cold weather for. Okay. Got the coupler in, so we're going to work the grapple. Look at that. The claw. It works. My couplers are holding in the back. Everything's slow going through this. Been sitting out in this 30 below weather. A little faster going down. Okay. Now we can feed some bulls and get a couple horses fed. Now Braden's bringing this bale in. And we could theoretically, well, we have done 2 at a time, but when it's cold like this iron is brittle, hoses are brittle, everything is really susceptible to breaking. So we take our time and do what we need to do, only as long as we're not breaking things. That's the speed we go. And or that speed and back off a little bit. But I got a little bunch of bulls in here, so we got to keep them fed up, and they got a day or two's worth of feed left here, but it's 30 below right now, 25 below, and they are going to are predicting some warm up. Come on, big boys, let's go. Come on. Yep, go on. Go on, bully. Go on, bully. Go on. Hip, 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 hip. Get out of here, bull. Go on. So they're gonna throw us some warm weather, and usually with warm weather comes wind. So I want to get everybody fed up that we have to with this tractor so that we can then take a little break and hopefully be easy to put that plow back on if it blows, because if we get wind, it's going to be nasty and blow. All right, now just to cut some netting on this and we'll finish up. Okay, feeding's done. Tractor doesn't leak as much as it did. There's always a little bit of a leakage on hose connections here and there. You just kind of keep up on them, but if you tighten them in weather like this, we could have done it when it was warm, but it was more important to get these horses and cattle taken care of. And now Braden's going to grab the electrical cord, since we have a tank heater on this thing, and we'll plug it in, and it helps, but it doesn't always guarantee it's going to start. So what we'll do is now take the shop that's available, and we are going to put the flatbed pickup in there, the one that's got the license plates that say Dinner Bell. And when you start it up, those cows do go to the feed ground, so they know where it's at. And everybody's going to hook it up so it warms up. We'll have the pickup warmed up in the shop, keep it at about 40 degrees in there, and we know it'll start. And then if we have to start the tractor using the pickup, we can do that, or a booster type battery charger, we can do that too. We've got a couple options. We can always put a tarp around this with a space heater under it and let it run and warm up for a few hours if we have to too, for getting a good start on it. So that's it for now. Okay, you guys, I hope you've commiserated with us a little bit. It's kind of tough to get things done sometimes in a timely fashion or in a way that's not frustrating. We spent a couple hours on that one, just a stupid little clamp, and we ended up working it better. You know, cats come out of the place, you can probably hear her, but we spent probably 4 or 5 times longer to feed this morning than we normally would, so it makes for a long day like that. Okay, you guys, hope you enjoyed the ride along.